out, Romano.
Dear! Good ball for Roberto Carlos. Hooked into the penalty area towards Zidane.
Nani.
Rooney! Oh, wonderful!
Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli. Aguero!
Hello, good morning. Welcome to a Thursday morning chat with Savva. Let's take stock. Let's take stock. Good morning to everyone. I hope everyone is well. There's already 237 of you in here, so good morning to all of you. Admin, as always, if you're not used to being in here, smash that like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Let's not play the game. Let's set a nice early target. That's where we are for the moment. We are on 8,313. Let's see if we can get as close to 8,400 as quickly as possible today. A crazy 24 hours, 12 hours, in fact, for Tottenham Hotspur. Maybe just over 12 hours. What have we got to talk about today? So it was reported yesterday that a deal was very close for Mickey van der Ven, that fees were nearly agreed. There's been more updates overnight about it, and we'll get to that in a minute. Ashley Phillips is reportedly signing by the end of this week for a fee of £2 million. And one that nobody saw coming, Alejo Feliz of Argentinian nationality, who plays for Rosario Central, a 19-year-old forward, 6'1", raved about in Argentina. Let's be honest, many of us didn't know a lot about him, have scrambled around to look for videos to see what he's like. And then reports overnight that could be wrapped up very quickly as well. So, happy, optimistic, pessimistic, where are we all at? Where do you all feel with this? I think the funny thing for me is this. Straight away, I was on a WhatsApp group with a few YouTubers last night, and what was funny was it was the initial excitement of, oh my God, we're going to get some, we're going to get a young centre back for the future, a young centre back who's ready to come in the first team right now, a young striker who's unknown, and what we've wanted. We wanted to scout like Brighton do, etc. And then straight away, the conversation went to, is this Harry Kane money? It was like, with Spurs, there's never too much high without the low. Now, listen, for me, I'm not bothered. I've said a million times, if selling Harry Kane means you go and sign 3 or 4 players and you build an actual squad, I'm all for it. See you later, Harry. If you're keeping Harry as well, great, even better. But hey, it is what it is. Let's smash those like buttons, people. Let's not mess about. Let's just do this immediately. Smash that subscribe button. And let's see who we've got in the chat before we get going, before we have a look at what Romano has said about these players. Romano must have known all this was going on, because the day before he said, strap in Spurs fans, it's going to be a busy August. And then by August the 3rd, we're waking up to all of this news. Morton Barley is in the house. Big up to you, my man. I hope you're well. Brendan is in the house. Hope you are well. Daniel, big up. Huge supporter of the channel. Daryl Denton said, sorry, Savva, that Donna Cullen account is too much. I can't sit through. Probably just me, so don't take it the wrong way. I mean, Daryl, you can just ignore certain people. I mean, it's a bit weird when people have to turn away because one account is in the chat. Morning, good morning, Rinketic. Hope you're well. Skyline 1372. We have got Wolves Finland in the chat. Big up Wolves Finland. Hope you are well. There's so many people in this chat. Tigaro, the single parent theory. Big up to you. Always a massive supporter of the channel. So thank you. Good morning to Ash. Good guys, Ash, good friend. Well done, Ash, for being here. Always being here. Good lad. Andy Poulton said, buzzing to get back Sunday football beers, mate. Bring on coys. Absolutely. We've got Hod God 10. We've got Spurs for Life, who's just put a Question mark. I don't know what that's to. We've also got, here he's back. So Savva, many players are now being linked and players being signed too. So a rational drama created against Levy won't work anymore. I don't know who that's saying that. Are you aiming that at me? What are you aiming that at? What do you mean? When putting in comments, can we get some context so that I know what you're talking about? Blissy's in the chat. Big up to you, Blissy. Sean Wheeler, morning to you. Yeah, it's we'll talk about Tapsoba because there's reports saying that he's on as well. Look, I'm going to stick it out there right now. If Spurs are buying Van der Ven, Kessie, Ashley Phillips, Valise, and then bidding for Tapsoba, where's the money coming from? Why suddenly now, as we've got to the last 4 weeks of the window, are Spurs shopping? Do they know that Harry Kane's going? Sorry, it's really bright today, so hopefully I'm still bright enough for you. It's just when that is open like that, I think it's just like a bit too much. Graham is in the chat. Perchy is in the chat. Ash said he scored 11 goals in the Argentina League already this season at 19. Scored 3 and 4 games at the Under-20 World Cup. Messi's been raving about him. If Brighton signed him, now we're going to get into that. That's a really good point. What I can't do, again, I've always said this, Ash. Look, you and I talk away from here. Me and you talk on WhatsApp. What I've always said is I can't ask Spurs to sign young, exciting players, then get annoyed. As long as we're concentrating on the first team as well, I can't get annoyed. Do I know loads about this guy? No, of course I don't. I know about as much as everyone else. Even Strasbourg Steve, who knows every player in the world, when I asked him last night, it was like, look, I don't know too much about him. So, look, we'll all learn about this as we go along. Chris Loney is here. Danny Spur is here. Ron Tully is here. Geordie Mick or Geordie Mick, big up to you as well. Hope you are well. There's so many of you. I won't be able to say to absolutely everyone. Savadog Woof Woof is in here. Rob78, as well as 410 people. So come on, let's start as we mean to go on. And before we look at what Romano said, smash that like button if you haven't already. And anyone that does want to become a channel member, please become a channel member. Let me know if you want the link for that. And let's get those subscribers up. Let's grow this channel. And as I said yesterday, the decision has been made to take the channel full time. So with the channel going full time, there'll be a huge agenda each week of what the shows will be on my channel, on other channels. On Friday afternoons, we're going to have the Weekend Premier League preview show where the main bulk of it will be Spurs, but we'll look at the other games. How do those games affect Spurs? We've got watch-alongs. I've got Straight Facts with Terry on a Sunday, the Spurs review on a Sunday, the morning show every morning at 10 a.m., 45-minute shows with 6 or 7 different YouTubers from across the Premier League clubs throughout the week. So it's going to be absolutely hectic. Antonius is here as well. And hopefully you like the sound of that. Hopefully you do, because I can't do it without all of you guys. Hobbers is in here. Big up to you, Hobbers. Hope you're well. Who's news? He's one I was suggesting. Is that about Valise? Listen, as I said, I've probably seen the same videos that everyone else has seen about him going around. Who's emailing me now? I have no idea what that person wants. Some collaboration that I do not understand right at this second. Where are we? Right. Okay, let's get into it. Shall we have a look? Shall we have a look and see what was actually said? All of this conversation started from Fabrizio Romano yesterday. Let's have a look at this, shall we? And then we'll get back to some of the comments. So stick your comments in. I will try and read as many as possible to ensure they're read out. Stick them in a super chat. Otherwise, you know, guys and girls, I will try to get to as many as possible. Let's have a look at what's been said, shall we? Let's start with Fabrizio Romano's Twitter page. Can you all see that? Hopefully everyone can see this. Yeah, you can all see it. Okay. So if we look at Fabrizio Romano's Twitter page, let's change and let's see if this works. There we go. Okay, so we'll scroll past the Paris Saint-Germain Gonzalo Ramos deal at 80 million. We will go past Release clause confirmed. Man City and Chelsea interested and confirmed in Elise. That's going to be a real interesting dogfight. Go and play for Pep. João Cancelo has agreed personal terms of Barcelona. Will Barca have the money to buy him now that they've sold Ousmane Dembele? And now let's get to the news. So Fabrizio Romano has said that he understands. This was 2 hours ago. So this was at 8:16 this morning, the UK time. I said, understand Daniel Levy is taking care of the final steps of negotiation in order to sign Mickey van der Ven from Wolfsburg. Deal final stages, as revealed yesterday. Tottenham have to agree with Wolfsburg on payment terms and installments. Then it will be done. We'll come to this in a minute because what he also showed was this. Tottenham are prepared to close Ashley Phillips' deal for $2 million fee by the end of the week if all goes to plan. The release clause will kick in to his contract. Talented centre-back has already said yes to Spurs. He's a giant of a man, isn't he? And on the back of that as well, Vardiol's going to Man City today. We already talked about Gonzalo Ramos. Then this was the one that I don't think anyone saw coming, was Tottenham have approached Rosario Central for 2023. That would be weird. For 2003 born talented striker Alejo Feliz. Hope I'm saying that right. Talks are ongoing. There's no agreement in place between all parties, but negotiations are concrete. Decisions to be made in a few days. Now, I don't know about you. I need a bit of water. I know that much. This is very rare for Tottenham. This is very rare to have two deals that are apparently very close. Ashley Phillips, Van der Ven, and then one deal where talks are concrete, young, exciting striker, they're telling us. I can't sit here and say he's brilliant. I don't know. I've watched the same videos as you all have. Morning, Lisa. Thank you very much. Always nice to get a compliment. Where are we all at? Let's try and unscramble all this. Where are we all at? Let's start with Ashley Phillips, because this is an interesting one. Ashley Phillips was here we go 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Here we go. And then it didn't happen. Lots of talk that Levy was trying to undercut them. Then it was talks that Blackburn were actually trying to get more money than they'd first agreed. Then it turns out that they've actually made a bit of a mess of it, and he's got a clause in his contract which allows him to leave for $2 million by the end of the week. Again, another one who I've watched a lot of videos of lately and looks really good for the future. All of a sudden, it looks good. A young, talented centre-half who's coming through. You add that to Van der Ven and Romero, possibly one other. It starts to look a lot better. Starts to look like they're backing Postecoglou. However, the deals aren't done yet. But that's positive. I'll be excited to have him in the squad. I wouldn't even loan him out. I'd have him in the squad. I'd give him game time. I think this guy, from what I've seen, looks good. Looks good. What doesn't look good is the number of likes. Smash that like button, people. There's 550 of you in here already at 19 minutes past 10 on a Thursday morning. We'll get to Tap Sober. We'll get to Tap Sober in a little bit. If I don't mind sharing, what do I do for a living? If you can't answer for privacy reasons, all cool. Do you think the money's coming from a loan with the bank, or is it Kane money? Yeah, don't worry about what I do personally. Do I think the money's coming from a loan with a bank, or is it Kane money? This is the question. We're going to talk about this. I promise we are going to talk about this shortly. So where are we all at with Ashley Phillips? Let me know now your thoughts in the chat. Is it good that we're signing young, talented centre-backs? And before I get, somebody said yesterday, oh, he's like Roden. I've already watched him play, and I don't know him. Don't start all this. I'll block you. I've not once said I know Feliz. I literally, if you use these, don't be an idiot. I literally just said I didn't know anything about him. I've gone and watched the same videos that everyone else has. So please don't start being an idiot. All right. I hate it when people do this. Just got to grow up, my friend. So what are we thinking about Ashley Phillips? What are we thinking about that as a deal? For me, I think he comes in, if Van der Ven's the only centre-half you buy, for me, you get Phillips in your squad straight away. I would rather blood him, see him coming through, rather than keep seeing Dyer, than keep seeing Sanchez. But surely if Phillips and Van der Ven come in, some of those have to go out, right? Sanchez, Tanganga, Roden. Those are the three I'm guessing. Those three I'm guessing are the three that are going to move on. Dyer and Davis seem to stick around as part of the furniture. So I can't see them going. And I think Davis will cover left back as well. But hopefully then we wind down Dyer's contract and he goes next year. But Ashley Phillips, I think, will be a good addition from what I've seen. Again, with young players, it's always the same. It doesn't matter who the young player is. What's their willingness to learn? What's their thirst to grow and get better? What's their coachability? Can the coach get more out of them? Have they hit their ceiling? There's all these different questions. So, look, it's good. And I think Ash made a really good point earlier. I'm seeing people already going, oh, who are these unknowns? If Brighton did this, we'd be saying, cool, look at Brighton. I've got no problem with this. I've always said, as long as we bring through for the first team as well as some exciting youngsters, I'm cool with it. What it can't be is just all kids. But if you're bringing in Van der Ven for the first team and then Ashley Phillips behind that, fine. You've got your forwards at Spurs. If you then bring in Valise, who we're going to talk about next, and he's coming through, fine. What people who are telling me who say they watch the Argentinian league is that he's very physical, that he's brilliant in the air. For the video I watched, Valise looked good in the air. He scored a number of headers. People saying that he smashed it up at the Under-20 World Cup. Lionel Messi said all these nice things about him. It's very difficult to go by what other pros say sometimes because they stick up for their own nationality. But who are we to doubt him? And he's only 19. So he's only 19, which I think speaks volumes about growth. So it's going to be really interesting. Some people saying he's the next Julian Alvarez. I've got no way of knowing that at all. So it's going to be an interesting one. Tigara, the single parent theorist, say, I hate to admit it, but given Blackburn's price hike, it turns out to be excellent business. Credit where it's due, of course. Listen, I don't like the owners. It doesn't mean I won't credit them if they do something good. So let's get these over the line before I give them credit. Let's get them over the line. I've always maintained the same thing. I've always maintained the same thing. For me, I want to see a good window this window. That's then got to be continued by next window and the next window. Because what will happen is loads of fans will come in and go, oh my God, you all panicked. We did it. That's great that we did it if we do it. But next time, can we do it quicker? Next time, can we have the players lined up? Now, hopefully with Ange in situ, by the time the next window comes around, they'll have been talking about this in the background. Unknown Tomato said, downside of buying these young talented players is like Wenger's later AFC days. If you don't win anything, they will leave. That's natural for any young player, right? If they become really good, they move on. I don't think that's a downside. If you get them to the point where other clubs want them, then we've done something right. Paul, big up to you. Always a big supporter of the channel. Said, I think you get as many good players through the door as possible and let Ange pick through the bones. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what you got to do. Picking through bones. 614 of you. Absolutely mental. 211 likes. As I said, I'll try to get to as many comments as possible to ensure they get read out. Stick them in a super chat. Keep subscribing. We've already got 7 subscribers today. Let's get this. As we said, let's get this. Let's get this as I knew that was going to happen. Let's get this to as close to possible as 8,350 as we can. Keep smashing that subscribe button, people. Let's keep subscribing, and there'll be a lot more content coming out today. Then before I go to the comments, let's look at the last one, which was Van der Ven. Obviously, Mickey Van der Ven. And I've never said the name Van der Ven as much in my life. Van der Ven. It's been all summer. Looks like it's finally getting over the line. The worrying thing there was, the only worrying thing was when Fabrizio Romano said, what did he say? Daniel Levy is taking care of the final steps. That worries me. Always when Daniel Levy's involved, I worry. Hopefully this gets done in the next 24, 48, 72 hours. I think it's positive information that Spurs need. It's positive news that Spurs fans need. Let's be brutally honest. And if Levy can get him and Tapsoba and Ashley Phillips and Valise and Kessie, plus Maddison and Solomon and Vicario, you'd have to turn around and say it's been a brilliant window. A long way to go for that to happen. And I'm not one that will sit here and contradict myself. If that happens, you turn around and go, right, really good window. Now you're giving Ange the tools. Go ahead, build the team. Let's get back into Europe next year. Let's build and go again next summer. So it's interesting. Let me know what you make of all of that, and I'll try and get some comments. JS has said Phillips is exactly the type of signing we need to be making. 2 to 3 years, he could be worth 50 million plus for 2 million. This is where we made our money before. We did it with Kyle Walker. Yeah, didn't we? We did it with Gareth Bale. So this is where we've done that before with players. So let's do it again. We did it with Modric, with Berbatov. Can we keep doing it again? I think, listen, there's some really good, exciting players out there. Spurs have to be in the mix. And we've been really bad at it for a very, very long time. Thank you to the people that have just subscribed. It really does mean a lot. I appreciate that. Obviously, anyone that's just joined, as I said, I will be going full-time very, very soon. So all the subscribers I can get and the likes really, really do help. Morton Barley, big up my man, said, happy to have Phillips in the squad and get that lad blooded. Absolutely. Robert Perisic in his Croatia shirt said, Savva, we should extend Perisic's contract because he's clear of any Spurs winners. Not for me. Not for me, if I'm honest. 34, I would rather we went for the younger, quicker, more energetic route. I want to see fresh, new, exciting talent. Sorry if to disagree with you. Just my opinion. Minish Man has said, exciting that Levy has finally acknowledged youngsters. Yeah, hopefully that is the Ange Postecoglou effect. We've heard for a long time that Postecoglou does a lot of his own scouting and looks at those players. That's what we need. I'm happy with it. I'm happy for this to happen. Absolutely. Wouldn't it be lovely you seeing Valise come off the bench rather than Lucas Moura? You're seeing Ashley Phillips come off the bench rather than an Eric Dyer or Sanchez. You know, it's exciting. Hearing Brian Hill has gone under the knife and will be out for some time. Yeah, it looks that way. I didn't see the actual time frame, but I think he has gone under the knife for surgery. So we'll see what news comes out on that. Kate says, Savva, I don't want Dyer and Sanchez playing this season. We still need another good centre-back in. Yeah, I've got a feeling you're going to see Dyer play some minutes. I don't think Sanchez will. I think he will be one that goes. Spencer said, good finisher in the box, which is needed in an Ange system. Absolutely. He looked, again, I can only say from the videos I've seen, right? I can't sit and say I've watched Rosario Central play. I will try and find a game next time they're playing. But he looked good in the air as well. He looked really good in the air. Perchy, big up my man, said, Savva, I don't get why fans moan about signing under 21 lads in. Surely to be a functional squad, we need first-team players and we need youngsters to help build. Absolutely, Perchy. I've got no problem with this at all. I feel like people look. We've been burnt before, right? I think like when we bought in players like Nkudu and G, Janssen. But hey, you know the top clubs don't just stop. They don't just stop and go, oh well, we failed. We won't try again. Look at Chelsea. They fail, they go again. They fail, they go again. Eventually, it leads to success. Big up, Q7. How are you, my man? I said, morning, Savva chat. Hit the likes and subscribe. Absolutely, people. It's free. Just do what this guy says. Smash the subscribe button and let's get ourselves motoring towards that 10K, shall we, before the season starts. Valise, let's hope they've watched him for more than 5 minutes. Yeah, I can't imagine. Look, we're a Premier League football club. I can't imagine that Postecoglou would sign off on a player that they've not seen for more than 5 minutes. Let's be brutally honest about this. Big up Paul Davis. Hope you're well. Said, morning, Savva. All of a sudden, August is seeming to be busy. What a difference a day makes. Let's hope we crack on and get them over the line as we have a habit of cocking things up. Absolutely, Paul. This is what's needed. And as I said, Romano said, didn't he, 48 hours ago, he said a big strap in, a big August for Spurs. It's needed. What I don't like is people were messaging me last night going, there you go, you're ungrateful. Look, it's happening. I shouldn't be grateful for this. This is how you run a football club. This is what we should be doing every window if the deals get done. Good morning, Liam. Hope you're well, my friend. Some credit where it's due. We should have done this 4 weeks ago. Credit where it's due when they get it over the line, for sure. But agreed, yeah, if these guys had been in 4 weeks ago, we could have got them on tour. But I've got a feeling, and we're going to talk about this, as I said, in more detail in a minute. I've got a feeling this is Harry Kane funds being spent. I truly believe that. We'll see, though. We'll see. Rob78 has said, purchase, because many of our fans still think we can go and sign ready-made superstars. I tell you what, Rob, absolutely. You look at some of the players that are moving this window to big clubs that our fans thought we should sign, right? Vardy going to Man City. Right, Vardy going to Man City. Skriniar going to PSG. Gonzalo Ramos going to PSG. These top players don't want to join Tottenham Hotspur. So you have to look at some good young players. Dan Kilpatrick reaffirming that the Mickey van der Ven deal is close. Please let it be today. Please let it be today. Did anyone see the video I put on my YouTube link in the comment section of my YouTube last night? I posted a video of Mickey van der Ven giving an interview on the pitch this time last year before he made his debut for Wolfsburg. It's a really good watch if anyone hasn't seen it. He's very level-headed, knows his strengths, knows his weaknesses, and very much comes across like a leader of men. Foxy, big up to you, has said, Felice is a poacher. Good inside the box, especially with crosses, but offers very, very little elsewhere. Facundo Ferreira 2.0 needs a lot of work, but has time on his side. Nowhere near Alvarez levels at the moment. Yeah, listen, he doesn't need to be near Alvarez levels, does he? I mean, he's younger. But again, if Ange wants a forward with that profile of a fox in the box, then that's okay if he hasn't got other stuff at the moment. That will come. He can work on that. So it's quite exciting. Guys and girls, keep smashing that subscribe button. Can we get to, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll do a shirt giveaway. If we get to, let's make it tough. So we're on that right now. Okay. So we've had 13 subscribers today. If we get this to 8,415, 8415. So that's 89 subscribers. I know that's a stretch. If we get to that, I will do a shirt giveaway of your choice. So if someone who's not a Spurs fan wins it, then they can have a shirt of their choice. So all you've got to do to win this is type into the box, hashtag, hashtag. All you've got to do is type into the box. I'm going to show you right now. Hashtag VDV. Hashtag VDV. And if you put that in, and if we get the right number of people, then we will do a shirt giveaway. All right, people, I can't be fairer than that. But actually, let's change it. That's a bit harsh. Let's change that. If we get to 8,400. So 8,400. So we're 73 away, as you can see. We will do a shirt giveaway. There's 650 of you in here. So if anyone that hasn't subscribed just goes over and does that, and anyone will tell you that I do one of these about once a week. So it's worth doing it. It's worth being a channel member. It's worth subscribing, and it's worth liking. So let's have a look at Tagaro, the single parent theory. So what about the long lay news? Hallelujah. Yeah, absolutely. News came out yesterday. That apparently Longley is in talks with a club in Saudi Arabia, which I think is good for us. I really do. I really didn't want him. I think a lot of fans didn't want him. But guys and girls, get subscribing if you want to win that shirt. We've got 72 to go, so get subscribing. I'll keep you updated. Loads of comments. I'll try and get to as many as possible. There's just too many, I'm afraid. There's too many. Right, let me try and catch up a tiny bit. I'm about 10 minutes behind the chat here. Savdog Woofwoof said, why doesn't anyone want to buy our deadwood? Send them all to Saudi. Mate, if the Saudi Arabian clubs don't want to buy them, they won't buy them. We can't just send players out there. They have to want to buy them. There's a reason that they're deadwood. And still, lots of our deadwood, our fans still want to give a second chance to. But hey, it is what it is. It really, really is what it is. Graham Gilbert said, this is a big season for Sonny. Has he still got it? In my opinion, he's on the slide and we have to sign cover. If we lose two of our best in Kane and Sonny, I don't think he has the legs for an AND system. Big season for him, of course it is. Big season for everyone, but a big season for this guy. I'm not sure how he's going to fit in. We're going to see. Obviously, it's not my job to make sure he fits in. It's Postecoglou's job to make sure he fits in. I'm not worried. If we lose Sonny and we lose Kane, we move forward as a club. We move forward. I'm not bothered. Other clubs lose players all the time. You know, we just move on, in my opinion. Hobbers has said happy that we hopefully get 2 to 4 new players. Really needed. Worried with a massive squad. Must reduce quickly in the next 28 to 29 days. I agree, Hobbers. Hopefully, we're going to start seeing some of the deadwood shifted. Thank you. 3 more people have subscribed. So we're now only 69 people away from giving away a shirt. Up to you guys. Hugo Boss Wood has said, don't hold your breath, but fingers crossed on all the signings. Absolutely. I think Nick Collison in the house. Ash has said Spurs open to Ndombele offers. Listen, I'd rather keep Lo Celso than him if that is what we're going with. If that is the choice, absolutely, I would rather keep him rather than Ndombele. Free has said Perisic has been the best winger, but he isn't an AND winger. 5th goal by Lo Celso from Solomon, cuts it back, is what he likes. When we say he's been the best winger, what? When? Reading the live chat on here is like listening to 10-year-olds speak. Why, Rob? What's happened? I think everyone's been good as gold. What's happened, Rob? You just moaning. Rob Wallace has said, question, Savva, we made money on Walker, but how much did we spend to replace him so far? We still haven't got there yet, for sure. For sure. I think the difficulty is when we say we haven't replaced him, we've had so many managers since that they all play in a different formation. But yeah, you're right. We haven't had a right back anywhere near as good as Kyle Walker. And that's where scouting and identifying comes in, doesn't it? Thank you. 3 more people have subscribed. Keep smashing that subscribe button. Type in hashtag VDV and you could win a football shirt of your choice with the name of your choice and the number on the back. So it's up to you. Matt Drayton said, Savva, you talk sense. Thank you. You're interesting and you're respectful to people of a different opinion sometimes. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ben Kaufman in the chat. Yeah, I don't know why he came in and just had a chat. I don't know what he's having a go at. I've liked the chat today. So far, we've had no twats in the chat. And if anyone doesn't know, that's a big sector of mine. Twat in the chat. Dan Boffwick said, morning, Savva. With these wingers, if they come off, great. But I'm getting tired of not getting them in sooner. Sorry, these wingers, these signings, not getting them in sooner and giving them a chance to bed in. Of course. Cool. I hear you. But we are where we are and we've got to move forward with it. I don't agree with it, but we have to move forward with it and we have to get it done. Big up, Dazza. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's always nice to hear some nice words. Where are we? Rob C, I don't think it's that your opinion was outlawed. I don't know what you're having a go at. For me, everyone's been chatting really well today about football and you've come in and just thrown a bit of a bomb over it. It's you know, you've kind of you want to ruin the vibe. I don't know why. It's been really good in here today. Free Asan just said, what happens to all the players who don't make the 25 squad? We still need a right back, left wing ×2, right wing ×2 and a striker. Look, I think you're dreaming if you think you're getting all of that, my friend. I don't think you're going to get right backs, left backs in this window. I don't think we need 2 left wingers or 2 right wingers. I would say we've probably got too many. I think you've got to curb your expectations a tiny bit, my man. It's not all going to happen in one window. Get the centre-backs in. For me, a holding midfielder and a striker. then the next window you start looking. Absolutely, guys and girls, this is all you got to do. This is all you've got to do. So far, I can tell you that 98 of you have done this. But it doesn't mean anything if we don't get another 66 subscribers. So, 65 subscribers now. So there's 698 of you in the chat. So if 67 of you haven't, 65 of you haven't subscribed, push that button. We do a draw and someone wins a free shirt. It's really nice and simple. It's not rigged. You can see it. Everyone will see it done live. If people want to win a shirt, great. If they don't, then they don't. Mind readers, Tom. Absolute mind readers. Brilliant. First of all, good morning to everyone that's just joined. Just so you know, we're talking about the positive news that VDV could be coming in soon, that Valise could be coming in soon, that Ashley Phillips is going to be done in the next 48 hours. Is Tap Sober still on? Now, who was I having this chat with last night? Ash, I think you and I were, it was me and you. Me and Ash were having this chat last night on WhatsApp. And Ash, hopefully you'll agree with this. I'm not throwing either of us under the bus. I think we both said, didn't we, that if he gets Van der Ven and Tap Sober, I fail to believe they're just doing the right thing. I think that this is, I'm not saying that's not the right thing, but I don't feel like they're just doing that and adding with Kane. I feel like Kane will be off. Now, as I've said before, I don't mind if Kane goes. I don't mind if Kane goes. I don't. If you're building around the squad, if you're getting in 2 or 3 centre-halves, you're getting in someone like Kessie, you're getting in a young forward to play with Son and Richarlison and Solomon and Porro and Kulu, I think there's enough there. I'm going to get excited if all of these deals come off. I will. I haven't been excited about Spurs for a long time. Where are we? Where are we? Why is my screen gone black? It's back. Sorry. Every now and then, StreamYard just goes black. I can't see anything. I can't even see myself. And then it pops back. Big up. There's 715 of you in here. Big up. Good morning to you all. Good morning to you all. We are now only 60 subscribers away from giving away a free shirt. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you type in hashtag VDV for a chance to win a Spurs shirt. 109 of you right now. If there's 718 of you in here, only 100 odd people want to win that shirt. Gonna need a sidekick. Nah, it's all right, man. This is what I do. Look at that little dog on your head. Alpish said, Savva, remember the Magnificent 7 signings from the Bale money? Yeah, but I always hear people allude to the Bale signings, but, that was a long time ago, and this is a different manager. I don't think we can just look at that. I back Ange. I really do back Postecoglou. I trust this guy. I feel like this is a really good guy to take our club forward. I've not been as excited for a manager for years. I mean, Jose, not exciting. Nuno, not exciting. Mason, Stellini, Conte, none of these are exciting managers. I think Ange is an exciting manager for Tottenham Hotspur. I think he's going to do really well. Please, Ange, I help me get all my positivity back, Ange. I know a lot of it is dependent on Levy, but I really like this guy. I think he comes across brilliantly, and I hope we do all we can to, to help him. Anna Dawes, big up, Anna. Always a big supporter of the channel. Hope you're well. And sorry, did you say it was mum and daughter, the dogs, right? It was mum and daughter or mum and son. Let's face it, Ndombele offer 8 million. There's a reason we're losing money on him. Talented individual, but honestly, seeing his attitude and performances showed otherwise. Yeah, get this guy out the door. Get this guy out the door. Get the wages out the door. He's on 10 million a year. Get that. Spread it around 3 or 4 players. Come on, let's start operating like a proper club. Cut our losses. Move on. Solo based on what? I don't know what that means. Apologies. Yeah, I think we should definitely be selling Ndombele. I think you're just on a wind up now. He's done nothing to deserve starting. Nothing at all in 4 years. There's loads of hashtag VDVs. But make sure that, Kate, you've put a gap in. Don't put a gap between the hashtag and the V. So hashtag VDV. Yeah. Nick Collinson. Here he is. Nick and Perchy. If you guys did want to come on, WhatsApp me. Nick and Perchie. This isn't a free offer to everyone, by the way, because sometimes when I ask people on everyone, they message me saying, can I come on? Can I come on? So let me know, Nick and Perchie, if you did want to come on and have a bit of a football chat. You're more than welcome to do so. But please WhatsApp me and let me know. Yes. Right. Okay. Brilliant. That's good news. My thumbnail's done, just so you know. Thumbnail's done for my video later. By the way, guys and girls, what I will do is next week, I am going to share my schedule as I'm going full time. I'm going to share my schedule with you as to what it's going to look like for next season, so you can pencil in any shows you want to watch with me. You don't have to watch them if you don't want to watch them with me. It's up to you. Nick's pretending he's got a work call. Oh, I've got a work call at 11. No, you haven't. He's making it up. You don't have a... No, I'm only joking. All right, I've just sent you the link. If you jump on afterwards, absolutely fine, mate. I'll be going until I'll be going for another hour and 10. So it's absolutely fine. Would Gift Orban be solid for the wing? Look, I've only seen videos of this guy as well. Is he more of a winger? Is he more of a centre forward? People in the chat will be more reliable to answer that than I would be if I'm brutally honest. Thank you so much to everyone for the likes so far. There's 346, which is half the room. So if we get the other half to all smash the like button, that would be brilliant as well. Why, Nick? You don't have to send me proof that you've got a work call at 11, mate. It's fine. I believe you. It's fine. It was just an offer. Perchie's going to join us in 10 minutes as well. But guys and girls, we are now 60 subscribers away. 60. That's all we are. 60 subscribers away from giving away a shirt. 707 of you in here. Should be a no-brainer. And how many of you? And 146 have tried to win it. All you've got to do is type in this. There you go. Hashtag VDV. And what I'll do as well is I'll put in the link. If you want to be a channel member, all you've got to do is put in this link. And if you want to be a subscriber, put in that link. Chance to win a shirt. We'll do another one of these next week. It is what it is. Brilliant. Adrian Parker said, awesome show, Savva. We have to stop being scared of selling big names. Hopefully, Andrew will be brave and get our football back. Bang on. I agree, Adrian. I'm not scared of selling these players. I think loads of people going, we won't score goals without Kane. Yes, we will. We'll score loads of goals. We're about to play a very attacking brand of football. We will score goals. That's the last thing I'm worried about is scoring goals. It's conceding them at the other end that I'm worried about. If you'll all excuse me just for 1 second. Stephen Thomas has said, hopefully this is the start to sort out this squad. I think it will take 4 windows. Mate, do you know the funny thing is when people say how many windows something will take, I don't think it's ever done. Look at Man City. Man City's never done. Man City's just won a treble. Mahrez gone. Yeah? Looks like Laporte's going. Gundogan's gone. You evolve. You just keep, it's never done. You keep going. That's why when people go, oh, Levy's doing well. No, every window. Next window, all right, if we get 3 or 4 players out this window, which should be 5 or 6, but if we get 3 or 4 out this window, in January, another couple have got to go. Next summer, another 3 or 4 or 5 have got to go. Constantly for me. But yeah, I agree with you. But I just think I think it should be an ever-going process. And we've been terrible at it. Paul Connor, big up channel member. Always good to the show. Thank you very much. Hope you're well. By the way, we are now only 55 subscribers away from somebody winning a free shirt, a free football shirt from the real club shop. Could be Tottenham, could be Chelsea, could be Arsenal, could be Man City, could be Paris Saint-Germain. The shirt of your choice, and I will send it right to you. I said, Savva, remember Spurs was going to get ruthless. You think once, and if we get the signings over the line, do you think Spurs will start ripping up contracts to clear out the bloated squad? I think they're going to have to, right? I mean, in all seriousness, aren't they going to have to? There are so many players at this football club. If you brought in Valise and Ashley Phillips and Van der Ven, maybe a Kessie, you've got to get players out. I think at that point, they need to get restless and say, you're not in my plans. You're not making my 25-man squad. Get your agent to find you a club. Let's talk about it. let's talk about it. I'll throw it out. I'll throw the question out there and we'll pick it up in 5-10 minutes. I'll get the comments in. Savva, you're right. We're spending Kane money. Well, there's the question to everyone. I'm not being negative. I'm just asking, are we seeing a frivolous window when we just go and spend cash? Or are we spending because we know what we've got coming down the pipeline? I don't think it's a negative question. I think it's a fair question. What does everyone think? Let me know. Mark has said, all we want to see is improvement on the dross we've seen the last few years. Amen, brother. Amen, amen, amen. Amen. Guys and girls, you've got an hour. We've got an hour to get those 54 subscribers. We've got an hour. If you want to win a shirt, up to you. If not, I won't say anything now. I'll monitor the situation again at 11 o'clock and we'll have a look. And if you want to win a shirt, it's there for you. So let's monitor that at 11 in 9 minutes' time. The White Rooster said another disappointment has been our preseason prep. The Summer League in the US was competitive. Our trip to the other side of the world to play a weak West Ham and Singapore side concerns me. Yeah, they've really got to, let's hope they've been working double hard in training, playing games against each other. Hey, it is what it is. We're in the position we are. Let's make the most of Shakhtar. Let's make the most of Barcelona. We'll take it from there. Not confident of Tapsoba, but will be amazing. I'm not confident of him unless Kane goes. I think if Kane goes, I think you could see both Tapsoba and Van der Ven, if I'm honest. I don't know, though. It's all a big game at the moment, isn't it? It's all a big game. I just get the feeling there's too much around this kind of Harry Kane situation. Let's try to make a statement signing. For me, I'll be honest, I don't care about statement signings. I don't think statement players come to the club, but I just want the right signing. Who would be a better question to you would be, who would be a statement signing for you? Let me know. Who's a statement signing, people? Kate said, Savva, you are the best. Oh, Kate, stop it. Glad you are going full time. You tell the truth about what's happening at Spurs. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Here he is, the Perchy TV. How are we doing, mate? You all right?
Good. How are you doing? I'm excited. It's all quite exciting now. All of a sudden, what's going on?
It is. I'm really hoping. I'm really hoping this isn't one of those times where we get falsely excited. Do you know what I mean? You know, I hope that this is one of them times. Imagine. Let me start that again. Imagine, Perchy, in the next 7 days, Spurs sign Ashley Phillips as a young centre half, Van der Ven for the first team, Valise as a young forward, and Kessie for the first team.
It's what we want. But I think this is the key bit, though. It is mad that it's all happening very quickly. It does scream of Kane's going, doesn't it? Let's be honest. It just feels a bit like Kane is going. Like all of a sudden we're now pushing it. But what I did say about the Van der Ven one, I'll sort of move slightly to the Van der Ven one. I put it in the group chat we were in last night, and I just said it smells of the Van der Ven is only happening now because they signed a replacement. Signed a replacement 2 days ago. Yeah. And now all of a sudden Van der Ven's going to go down the line. Like it is that just me, the glass half full of me talking? But it sounds realistic.
Could be.
It makes sense.
It could be. Or again, this is always going to be there with Tottenham, right? Could it be that we are seeing that as the Harry Kane and Bayern Munich conversations move forward, that we are acting? Because it's the classic misdirection trick in magic. Yeah. Right? We've got all this. I don't think it's negative. I don't think it's bad. People do, though. It's all this, oh my God, Kane's going to leave. And oh my God, this is terrible going on over here. Over here, though, have a look. Shiny new striker and centre half. But listen, I've got no problem if what's happening over here makes this happen over here. Agreed. I really haven't, Perchy. I'm honestly at the stage where I'm not bothered if Kane goes. And I know people keep having a go at me about that. I'm not bothered if Harry Kane leaves now.
I'm with someone in the same boat. For me, it's if Kane goes. I think I made this point a while. I made this point a while back, and people kind of went, "Oh, what you on about?" Blah blah. And I kind of tried to make the point was the only reason you keep Harry Kane with 1 year left on his contract and you keep a hold of him is if we need those goals to win us the league. I think we could probably agree. I would sit there, and if we had a team that was ready to go and win the league this season, I'd go, we don't sell Harry Kane whatsoever because we could go and win the league, blah, blah, blah. We're not really in that position. I think you're in the air of delusion if you think we're going to be challenging for the title this year. I think that's a fair judgment on it. So I sit back and go, what difference does it make if Kane's here or not? If Kane's here, yeah, okay, it might get us into the Champions League. But realistically, when we lose him, we're going to be back to square one anyway. So is it worth taking, as I call Harry Kane, the plaster of Tottenham, take the plaster off and go, do you know what? New manager, new system. Let's try something new. If it's Richarlison up top, if it's this new lad coming in, well, I've heard rumours that he might be staying on loan till the end of the season, which, by the way, means that he might be coming in January because of the way that the Argentinian league runs. It ends in January. So actually what you could have is a lad that stays there to the end of the football season in Argentina, comes in January. Listen, a lot of it, I'm excited. I'll put it out there. This is what I wanted to see. I think I'll be a hypocrite if I started moaning about the likes of Phillips and Velez and all this lot. I'd be a hypocrite because I said, I want us to start bringing in youngsters through, but give them a rite of passage to the first team. That's what I want to see. Well, we've not had that for so long. You look at, we sign a 19-year-old from there and you go, well, he's not going to get in over Harry Kane. What's the point then? So it doesn't matter how good you are in the academy or how good you are at the age of 21. If you're not going to start over anyone else, what's the point?
No, I agree, mate. I agree. Listen, Sean, you don't have to tell me. I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan of Postecoglou. I've got no problem with this. From the moment Spurs were first linked with him, I was one of the people saying, yeah, this guy fits. This guy fits the club. This guy fits what the fans want to see. Yes, there's going to be some short-term pain. Yes, even if we bring in all these players, you've got to get them in. You've got to get them settled. As we said, the team has only had 2 games of playing his new system. It's going to take time. Yeah? Look at Ten Hag at the beginning of last season when everyone was having a right pop at him. You know, 10-game Hag, you know, he's going to go, he's going to get sacked.
Wasn't it 9-1 Hag or something like that when they lose 9-1, or was it to Liverpool? 7-1,
no, they lost
7-1.
They lost 7-1 to Hart. But I'm talking about the beginning of the season.
Oh, right.
When they lost their first 2 games, they got battered at Brentford. Brighton beat them easily, and everyone was going, oh my God, 10 games. Give time. Time is very much needed. Time is very much needed. By the way, guys and girls, smash the like button. As I said, keep smashing in hashtag VDV. For the number of people that don't seem to want to win a shirt is madness.
I do find it mad when you do when anyone does a giveaway and then you see you've got 1,000 people or whatever watching and then like 200 people have entered. It's like, it's a freebie. Come on.
Yeah, it's a freebie. 182 people have entered. We are 52 subscribers away. So if we can get 52 subscribers in the next, we're probably going for just under an hour. So 52 subscribers in an hour. There's 725 of you in here, which is crazy. Smash that like button, subscribe. To be sure to have your comments read out, put it in a super chat. I'll try to get to as many as possible, but there are so many people in here. Big up to Tony, who's become a new channel member. Big up to you, my friend. As I said, from next week, I will be putting into my full-time schedule now a YouTube channel members only show. So thank you very much, Tony. If you would like to be a member, please let me know and I'll send the link. And Aussie12 has said, people use capital/lower for shirt. Does that matter? No, it doesn't matter. As long as it says hashtag VDV without a gap, hashtag VDV, then you will be on a chance of winning. So, yeah, if you want to get a super chat in, please do. Flanagan has said, Savva, what's the reason for the hashtag VDV? It's to win a shirt. It's to win a Spurs shirt, Arsenal shirt, Chelsea shirt, whatever shirt you want to win. Look, there are going to be the optimists among us, right? And I'd love to be this person, but I think Spurs have killed this inside me, Perchy. I'd love to sit here and go, you know what? Kane is staying. And we are just spending the money because it's a rebuild or a build, whatever you want to add to it. I just can't imagine that Levy's going, Van der Ven, Tapsoba, Kessie, Valise, Phillips, and then at the end, Kane signs a new contract. If that does happen, as fans, we have to turn around and go, fair play, great window, don't we?
Yeah, I think I think this is I get. I can see. I like the optimism in people. I do. Listen, I think I'm quite balanced in it. I'm optimistic, but I do get very negative in certain aspects. It's quite funny. I get told I'm a Levy sympathiser and I'm a Levy frother in the other sentence. It's mad. It's quite interesting. But this is. I think you're right in what you say there. I get your point. Was for me though. For me, the only thing I would argue against that though would be, if we were doing this for Harry Kane to sign a new contract, surely you sign these players as soon as the window opens. Personally, like you wouldn't wait 2 weeks until the season starts to go, crap, we better get some players in so Harry signs. I'll be honest, I've stood by my opinion on this. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters who we sign, who the manager is at the moment, because everyone keeps saying, "Oh, we got a big manager, Harry Kane was there." I said, I'll be honest, I think that ship sailed. I think for me at the moment, it's all about short-term success for Harry Kane at Tottenham. He must be looking, going, I need assurances that we're going to be challenging the league. And he must look around and go, we're not going to. We're not signing the caliber of player that will elevate us to being a Champions, European team, a Champions League team, a title challenger team. The gap's too big for me, personally. That's my opinion. I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I think this is more. If Kane stays great, woohoo, lovely. I think he'd be mad to sign a new contract. Personally, I don't see it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Look, it's difficult because what I want us to do, as I said before, I've already started seeing people in my chat, not today, but coming into my comments, Perchy, saying things like, "Oh, if all these deals happen, you're in the mud." First of all, I don't understand that, because if I'm not in the mud, this is what I've wanted. Second of all, what I'm hoping is that the longer Ange Postecoglou is here, that these types of players will have been identified before the windows happen. Now, obviously, we brought in Postecoglou like as the summer was about to start. So there wouldn't have been months and months of planning as to who you're going to buy in the next window. Yeah. You know, the other clubs have got that. You know, Liverpool would have known they're going in for McAllister. Liverpool would have known they're going in for Szoboszlai, you know, for example. I'm hoping the longer he's here, that when we then go into the next summer window, that some of these players are lined up already. But needs must for this window. We can't complain. If we get the players in, we can't complain.
Agreed. No, I absolutely agree. I think what we have to remember is this isn't going to happen. The fix at Tottenham is too big that it's not going to happen over one transfer window. I think we as a fan base want it to. We're so eager for us to be like, let's get rid of 8 players and bring in 12 players. Like, I think we have to be much more sensible and go, do you know what? This is what I said to people. I used Longley as a great example, and people completely took it out of context. And I said, I would rather us keep Eric Dyer for one more year than sign Clement Longley and get rid of Dyer. People went, "Oh, what, you want Eric Dyer?" Saying, "No."
People don't listen. People hear the bit they want, Perchy.
Yeah. So
people hear the bit they want.
Agreed. Everyone goes, "Oh, you love Eric Dyer." No, I said, but I'd rather have Eric Dyer for 1 year than sign Longley for 3 years, and then we have to then deal with getting rid of him for 3 years. It's all about. I would take the short-term pain for long-term gain. I've already said that. I say that all the time. If we sign Van de Ven, and let's just say we sign Tosin, and he was our third choice, and we don't get Tapsoba, I don't want us then to go and get in another a defender that is way down on the list, that we just go like, oh, that's not an appealing signing, but we've got him for 3 years, and then we've got to deal with it. If we have to keep some of the dross that we've got, I'm not against it if they don't, as long as they don't sign contracts. For example, Sanchez, Davis, Dyer, you get the gist. As long as we keep hold of them, they don't sign long-term contracts or even short-term contracts. Their contracts are just going to be whittled out. And when we go, do you know what? We've got 12 months now to go and scout a third and fourth choice centre half. We've got time to go and do that. And just start building slowly. And listen, after maybe 2 years, we go, do you know what? Look at the transformation. That's what I'm holding out for. Do I think it will happen? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an interesting one. That Rob78, big up to you, Rob, has said, I'm torn between us spending Kane money or spending money to show Kane some ambition and try to persuade him to stay. I go back to your earlier point, Perchy. I think that if it was spending money to try and make him stay, I think it would have been done a lot earlier in the window. And I don't think it would have been youngsters.
Agreed.
I think whilst I've got nothing against building for the future and bringing youngsters, is Harry Kane going to turn around and go, I'm going to stay now because we've signed a 22-year-old centre-half, a 19-year-old centre-half, and a 19-year-old striker?
Exactly.
I don't quite think that's enough to make him stay. He's 30, right? He's 30. This guy hasn't got 4 or 5 years to sit around and wait to see if something else works. But it's going to be an interesting month, isn't it? August is going to be busy.
It's going to be busy. What I want now is the spine sorted now up until what we've got a week and a half, less than that probably, until the start of the season. So let's call it a week and a half, keep it simple, 10 days or whatever it's going to be. Yeah, 10 days. 10 days until we kick off against Man United. Now, it has to be centre-half. Listen, I will be happy. I'll put this on camera. I'll be happy if we sign Van de Ven, another. So it doesn't have to be a tap sober. It could be a toss-in that's maybe whatever. Another centre-half. Frank Kesse, and then who was the Velez, and then Phillips. If we sign those 5 now, I'll be happy. I'll be like, do you know what? It's not an amazing window, but it's not a terrible window. It's a good window. It's a window that we've finally actioned it.
I'd be comfortable
finding them early.
I'd be comfortable. Big up to everyone in the chat. Keep smashing that like button. Thank you. There's 715 of you in here. I love doing these shows. And hopefully, we're going to do one of these, obviously, every morning for the summer. If you want it to continue once the season started and the window's shut, we can still do a chat every morning. Absolutely, we can. Just quickly, I'd be really happy, Perchy, if it is Van de Ven with Tosin and Ashley Phillips. Right, you have Van de Ven and Romero as your first 2, Tosin and Ashley Phillips as your backups. Then you can start seeing Sanchez, Roden, Tanganga this window. Then next year, I want to see Dyer go, Davis go, Sessegnon go. Yeah. You know, once you start doing that, all of a sudden, looks good. Now, what you've got as well is Tosin is homegrown, right?
Yeah.
Come from Man City. Ashley Phillips, homegrown. So what you're actually doing there is all the people going, oh, you can't get rid of Roden or Tanganga because they're homegrown. You're actually putting
2 definites,
homegrown players in. James Maddison's been bought, who's English. You've got another homegrown player there as well. Yep. So, look, for me, this window, this season is hanging on a knife edge. It's got the potential to be a disaster or half glass full. That's more than half, isn't it? If we're half glass full, lovely glass that, by the way, strong, solid, sturdy
very
glass.
Very clean as well.
Very clean, yeah, good dishwasher. If God knows what I was going with that. If we're going glass half full, it's got the potential to be a very good window and a very good season. And this has been the frustration, I think, for Spurs fans for years, that never do I think we're millions of miles away, but we never actually just take the plunge with 3 or 4 players. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we get all these players in, we win the league. But let's move this conversation on to Henry and I were talking about this last night. Henry don't sleep, honestly. Henry does not sleep. You don't sleep. I hardly sleep. And I feel like I'm WhatsApping about football till like 2 or 3 in the morning, like every day. Henry and I were having the conversation. He said to me, if we bring in Van de Ven, Tapsoba, Kesse, and Valise, he said, I think we'll finish 6th or 7th. I said, I think if we bring all those players, that I think we could finish 4th or 5th. Now, before people think I'm crazy, I think if you add those players in and sort out the back line with an exciting attacking brand of football, a solid midfield with Kesse and Basuma and Maddison, Tapsoba, Van de Ven and Romero at the back, lots of different forwards that will score goals and Maddison creating. Plus, here's the big thing for me, playing once a week.
Yep.
I don't think that's beyond the realms of possibility. There's so many ifs in there, but what do you think?
No, I think it's a good point. I think what we have to remember here as well. I think it's a valid point. I'm not earing to that side of optimism just yet until I start seeing a little bit more and how we get on early on. Because I think the early first few months are going to be tricky, and I think fans need to really be a bit more sensible when we when we play the likes of Brentford, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool early on, we've got to hold it and go, do you know what? There might be the odd thrashing here and there. I think we have to remember that. We might start losing games 5-3, 4-2s. And I think people need to I think as a fan base, we just have to be a bit more sensible and go, do you know what? It's not going to be easy. But the one thing I will say on your point, though, is that the only air of optimism is there's 3 teams above us that it's their first real season of competing at this level. Aston Villa, yeah, they were previously, but under new owners, they've now got to navigate the Thursday, Sunday. Brighton have got to do it. And Newcastle have to do it in the Champions League. And bear in mind, I made a great point this, guys. You have to think about what pot teams are in. Brighton are going to be in one of the bottom pots in the Europa League. Newcastle are going to be in the bottom pot in the Champions League, not being in there for so long because of the way that the coefficient works. Villa are going to be down there low. These are teams that it's their first real push. I know Villa previously have been in Newcastle a longer time ago, but I'm on about more recent history. They haven't been in there. So these teams are going to be playing teams of their standard. Newcastle could have a group where they've got to go and play Barcelona, PSG, Real Madrid, Galatasaray. I don't even know if they're going to be in there, but I'm just saying,
I think it's interesting that these teams haven't been in Europe for ages, and they're not used to it.
Agreed. That's the point. Yeah,
that's what we've got to take advantage of. Just quickly, I'm going to go through a few comments. Some comments really do make me laugh. How angry some people are. Before we do, it's 12 minutes past 11. There's 725 of you in here. We are 44 away. 44 away. By the way, people saying, oh, you're a bit of a hypocrite, Savva, because you're going to get the shirt from the official club shop. When you know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, right, you don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I think people can't even have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Free shirt giveaway. Oh, but if I do that, come on, guys and girls. It's just mental. Just going to go through a few comments. But again, smash in # VDV. We still need the 44 more subscribers for it to happen, people.
How about this? Shall I double it up as well for you? If we can get to 1,500 by the end of this on mine, I'll throw in a shirt as well on your stream. How about that? I'm about 63 away. How about that one?
There you go. Chuck in
there
the link.
I'll throw a shirt in the mixer as well.
Chuck your link in the chat. Let's do it. People, I just want to have a quick look at where are we? Thanks, Shane. I try my best. So a couple of comments that caught my eye, Perchy, that I want to talk about. I'll wait for you to do that. Louis Saha is a mug. Would love Ange to win something to stick it in the doomsday. Yeah, when Louis Saha said that he thinks Ange will be sacked first, but it's Daniel Levy. A couple of comments I want to read. Some of these make me laugh. I mean, first and foremost, have you noticed no one else is in for these players? Says a lot. Buying at the pound shop, buy cheap, buy many times. I mean, if we're talking about Ashley Phillips is a young 19-year-old centre-half who's playing at the Championship, right? If Brighton had gone out and done this, if Man United, Arsenal went out and got a really good young player, we wouldn't be saying this. We'd be saying it's a good deal. Right?
So I was just going to make a quick point now. What happened 12 months ago? Man City signed Julian Alvarez. Everyone went, oh my God, look at them. They're going to bring in one of the youngsters through Argentina. But then when we do it, it's like no one else wants them.
But what I don't get about this is if you've not seen Tapsoba and Van der Ven to say we're buying in the pound shop, then I'm afraid your football knowledge is dreadful.
Agreed.
Opinions are opinions, but watch them play. When we're talking about buying in the pound shop, I feel like that's, listen, I'd love to have a go at Daniel Levy about something else, but I can't. I can only have a go at him when it's justified. This makes me laugh. Tommy Howard, very angry Tommy Howard. Two comments I'm going to bring up. He's put, no, we are not spending Kane money. How in the hell can you people bitch about all the stuff happening at the stadium with all the revenue coming in and think we are spending Kane money? Whoa, Tommy. First of all, calm down. All right. First of all, no one's bitching about all the stuff happening at the stadium. I'm cool with everything they're doing at the stadium. What everyone wants to see is that money they're generating from the stadium is then used to build a good squad, right? No one's got a problem with WizKid being there or Beyonce. What they've got a problem with is prioritizing that over the football, okay? Second of all, we don't know if we're spending Kane money or not. We ask the question. Relax, right? Relax. We've seen this before when we've done this with players. We've sold a top player and then gone and bought a few. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility. He's followed up by saying, no, Spurs don't need to sell Kane to fix their problems. You all really say anything these days with info to back it up. We're asking the question, Tommy. Relax. No one has said, right, Perchy, if I came on here and said, Perchy, I'm in the know. My sources are telling me we are 100% selling Kane to fund this. This guy would have a point. What I've said is, it wouldn't surprise me if we do this. Yeah. I don't know. If they keep Kane and buy all these players, great. They're acting like a proper club for once. Equally, if they buy all these players and then Kane goes out, I don't think many Spurs fans are going to be surprised. I think a lot of Spurs fans will go, well, yeah, that makes sense as to why all of a sudden we've gone and bought boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Why is this guy so angry?
Do you know what I find? I do find incredible, by the way. I do genuinely find it incredible on when we all do this stuff. Is people like in a sense hang on our every word, and it's like, listen, this is just our opinion. Like my opinion and your opinion is no different to anyone else's in the chat. So we're allowed an opinion, like, and we're only like talking about a potential. Listen. It's not uncommon knowledge that Harry Kane to Bayern Munich is a very likely potential that can happen. It's not like we've just created it out of nowhere. Like we had the Bayern Munich officials in on Monday talking about it. So it's hardly like undercover news, is it?
Yeah, this is what makes me laugh. I mean, the fact that Bayern Munich have flown over and offered their third bid tells you that, first of all, it tells you that Harry Kane has told them he will go.
Yeah.
Right. Bayern Munich would not be still in this conversation a month later if there weren't assurances he's going to sign. But I can't believe I'm going to say this for like the millionth time. I've said all window, Perchy. The only way Kane goes is if Bayern hit the magical number.
Agreed.
What that magical number is, we can surmise. We don't know. Some people think it's 100. Some saying 110. Some saying 100. I don't know. But Bayern Munich are bidding for Harry Kane. Conversations are not over. So when that guy's getting really angry at us for that, it just relax. Like,
yeah, agreed. Just take it easy. Like,
it's just crazy.
I think the key bit here is it actually makes no difference. It's just an opinion, isn't it? I think it makes no difference if we want sell Kane or keep Kane. I keep having this with people when people just have an opinion on it. Like people surmise on your every word.
Look, I think the key thing as well, right, is we're just football fans talking.
Agreed.
Right, I'm not in the know. No one's ringing me up from the club to go, Sav, trust me, Kane. No one, I don't know. Just football fans who have built a YouTube channel and are giving people a platform. I think what people need to understand as well is what I get a lot of, and this is what makes me laugh. I don't think people realize that all the YouTubers talk with each other.
Yeah, agreed.
Right. So sometimes when you think that YouTubers don't get on, right? When you think that there's beef, YouTubers all talk to each other. So some people, I'm not saying that guy, but some people will go back onto another chat of a show, right? And they'll go, oh my God, Savva just said boom, boom, boom. I didn't speak to that YouTuber and go, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. And do you know what? Also, thank you live on air to you, Perchy, because I saw a show the other day where somebody came into the chat. I think it was Hotspur Hood. Somebody came into the chat, said something that I'd said, which I hadn't. And you actually went, hang on, that's a lie. You were like, no, that's a lie. So people think they're clever. We're all not stupid, you know?
And also you've got to remember, us YouTubers don't believe, when you start doing that, we think you look silly. You don't think you're causing rifts and stuff. As I said, I sat at the end of it and spoke to Stel, and I said it's absolute nonsense. I said, go back and watch the stream if you want, and it will prove it. And Stel was like, yeah, I know. I literally spoke to Savva just before I came on. And guys, you guys need to remember, we all talk. We know what's going on. It's silly.
So, in other news, Yerry Mina has signed for Fiorentina. Looks like he's going to be the Eagle replacement. And here is some news from Fabrizio on our young striker Valise. Can you all see that? Is that nice? And is that big enough?
Seems good to me.
I said, Alejo Valise has agreed personal terms with Tottenham. Player wants to join, long-term contract in place. Negotiations are underway between the clubs. Rosario Central have asked to keep Valise on loan for at least 6 months. What do you make of that, Perchy? For me, I'm comfortable. Cool. Bring him in. Let him stay with Valise until the January window.
Yep.
Bring him in. Let him keep playing every 90 minutes. That's what we should be doing, right?
I think, do you know what? I think it's smart business. Let's be honest, we want this to happen. Like, I've said this all along that for me, we need to be doing this. This is how you become a sustainable club that builds for the future whilst building for the current. We should be doing that. Every other club does it. Man City go out and do it. Liverpool go and do it. Man United go and do it. Every club does it. We should also be doing it. We shouldn't be complaining about it. We should be going, do you know what? Great. Stays there to the end of the season in Argentina, then comes to us in January. How can anyone complain about it? I'm trying to be as sensible when I talk about it. How can anyone moan about it? Because for me, I sit there and go, do you know what? He could come in. Let's just say, I don't know. I think I've checked and he scored something on the lines of, he scored the lines of 12 to 13 or goals already. Maybe I think it was 11. I think it's 11 in 23. I think it was. I could be wrong. But I sit back and go, do you know what? Imagine he goes and
he's got 11 and he just scored 3 and 4 for the Argentinian under 20 World Cup, right? So
agreed. And I look back and I go, do you know what? If this lad finishes off with 20 goals in the league, and by the way, if you go back and look, I use FootMob, which do a lot of, they cover every football. They use a lot of football. They cover it. And you go and look at, and it's hard to judge it because I don't know this player. It was brilliant. I saw some people going, this guy's an amazing baller. And someone put on the comment underneath it when you heard about him 14 seconds ago. What you on about? It was quite funny. And I'm not sitting there saying I know, but I sat back and I went, I'm going to go back and start looking at his match performances. They give you a rating out of 10. Let's see how he does. He's getting 8s, 7 8s, a couple of 9s. I'm going, not bad. Listen, that's all I can base it on. Playing in the Argentinian league is not the same as the Premier League, of course.
But it's not. But he's a 19-year-old kid. But what he does look, I'll say this, Perchy. I've seen the same videos everyone else has seen, right?
Yeah, agreed.
I've seen the same videos. I'm not watching anything that anyone else hasn't. What I have seen from those highlights is he's very good in the box in the air.
Agreed.
I've seen that. Saw a nice couple of smart finishes with his feet. Look, again, if Brighton had done this, we'd be all over it. If Brighton were doing this deal, we'd say, oh, look at Brighton getting these young players. I feel like as much as I'm annoyed at windows and how they go, as much as I'm annoyed at the owners, when we do good things, I will say we've done good things. Yeah. I'm a straight shooter, right?
I just think it'll be one of those. It'll be funny. He'd go to Brighton and we'd all go, oh, here we go. If he'd went to Brighton, we'd all go, oh, he's going to be worth £70 million in 18 months. And then he'll go to a big team like McAllister and all these lot. I just think we have to be sensible with it.
Yeah, just a quick one. East London Gooner said, you really think Tottenham are going to come above Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea are in a dream world? I mean, well, first and foremost, I never said that. This is what I don't understand why people can't listen. What I said is about 15 ifs, right? If we get Van der Ven and Tapsoba, if we get Kessie, if we get a centre forward, right? If they all stay fit, if they gel, then why not get in a 4th or 5th? I've not said we're going to finish above every one of these teams. Like, first and foremost, what you've got to reckon, like Chelsea, I think will be good this year. But again, Chelsea, a bit like Spurs. They're trying to forge a new team, new process, new manager. That'll be interesting to see what they do. I think they're going to be a lot better. I think they'll be there or thereabouts. When I say there or thereabouts, let me. I have to caveat everything, Perchy, being on YouTube.
Yeah.
When I say there or thereabouts, I think Chelsea will be there or thereabouts for 4th, 5th, 6th. 5th, 6th, probably more likely, not winning a title. Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, I would think would probably be the top 4. That 4 there is probably going to be the top 4.
That's my theory. That's my top 5, you mean? Yeah.
No, I'm taking Chelsea out. Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool. I'm taking Chelsea out for a second. But injuries to big players. If a club gets a couple of big injuries, what happens? Yeah. These clubs like Arsenal have got to play in Europe, Champions League, and mixed up with the Premier League. There's lots of different things that can happen. I've never, but please don't make out like I've said Spurs are definitely finishing. I've not said that at all. I've always said next year, build and grow the team. Let's see some good football being put in place. Let's see an ethos, a philosophy, a coming together, a togetherness of the team.
Agreed.
And if we get back in Europe, whether that's Conference League, Europa League, great. If we get in the Champions League, that is well beyond what we're expecting for next year, right? That's all I've said. And people take it like, honestly, it is absolutely mental what people hear. 5th possibly could get you Champions League, right? I think it's all to do with the coalition. And
if we finished 5th, would be in there basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I'm trying to read out as many comments as possible. If you definitely want to get your comment read out and for me to see it, when you put it as a super chat, it does star it for me. It shows me that there is something there I have to read out. So please do that. There are 482 likes, 784 people in the chat. It's absolutely mad, Perchy, for a Thursday morning. But we are 40 away. Look, we're 40 away from a shirt. Look, 40 away.
And I'm 53 away, if you can see that. I'm 53 away. And I'll throw in a shirt definitely today.
So if people want that, hashtag VDV, but you're going to have to get another 39 now subscribers from 798 people. 38 people just have to subscribe. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and then all you've got to do is subscribe and somebody wins a shirt. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Talking about super chats, Rooksy Pop, always a big supporter of the channel. Hope you're well. Said most of these ITKs are clueless, nicking a living. For sure, most of them are clueless, which is why a lot of people wait for Ornstein and Romano and Sky Sport. Most of these people wait for the bigger publications, the bigger people in the game. Thank you to the 2 people that just unsubscribed, just not helping people get a shirt. But hey, it is what it is. And Mum's Spaghetti has said, "Our worship Daniel Levy is the greatest ever. If Kane is sold and he bids for Rashford as a replacement, take the donkey from you, I beg." I mean, Mum Spaghetti, thank you for the super chat, but you come in here every day telling us what a bad job Ten Hag's doing, right? He's bought in his own players, got you back to Champions League where you hadn't been for a while, right? Got you to 2 cup finals, won you a cup final, bought in Casemiro, now Onana, bought you in a very young, exciting forward. Now it looks like you're trying to get Amrabat as well. You brought in Martinez, who's a good centre-back. Good young players like Malacia. I don't know what you're talking about. And Marcus Rashford, didn't he have a brilliant year last year?
He had a big purple patch, didn't he? He had that one where like you went, oh, do you know what? He could be back in the England setup, sort of good. Like people will question that, but I don't. Let's be honest. Spurs aren't buying Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
Newsflash, not happening.
We're not, but I can't understand how a club that need more goals like Man United would want to sell the guy that's their top goal scorer.
It doesn't make sense.
Like I get it. Like if he's got 1 year left or whatever, if it was the Kane situation, I get it. But I just don't get what this guy's saying. By the way, guys and girls, it doesn't look like we are going to be giving away a shirt. For some reason, 4 people just unsubscribed. So it's very, very strange.
Don't be that person.
Those people do make me laugh. I think there's a lot of nasty people out there in the world, aren't there? that,
Well, no,
like you say, hang on, let me finish.
Yeah.
Let me finish. You see a lot, you got someone going, hey, free shirt. All you got to do is this. Some people go, I'll be spiteful. I'm going to unsubscribe from that so people can't win it. When you think, why would people do that? Like, it just makes me laugh. I don't care that they're unsubscribing from me as a channel.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you? I just don't get it. I
do find it strange because I sit back and when people go, oh, stop begging for this, stop begging for that. It's like, no, you've got to remember, like, we do this because the whole point of us is to be pushing our channels. We want to hit targets. We are ambitious.
Self-promotion.
It's promotion. And bear in mind is, I always say, and you say it as well, you don't have to spend money. We do this for you for free. Think theoretically. As long as you click in a like and a super chat, it's all realistically we are. So no one asks you for super chat. If you want to, we take it as very kind generation from you people. But we ask people to do 2 free things. It's mad.
It's absolutely crazy. Listen, by the way, Tommy, yes, your message was very angry. Caps locks were on, talking about people bitching when they weren't bitching, saying that people had said things they've not said. Yes, Tommy, you are very angry. I'm not being sensitive. It's just funny watching you flip out about things that no one said. But hey, it is what it is, my friend. No one's being sensitive. Exactly. It's just opinions. You're only talking about what most people know. So interesting there that from nowhere in the last 12 hours, we've gone to personal terms agreed. From nowhere. Who's doing these deals?
Well, I think, do you know what? And I'm going to start being a little bit positive and giving a bit of credit. Because one thing I've always said is we said this a lot about, especially with like certain deals, do them under wraps. This Velez, by the way, has been linked with 4 or 5 Italian clubs as well. Roma, Inter Milan, Napoli are 3 that just spring to mind that I saw. And there was a few other clubs that wanted him. I like we do it under the wraps. That's what I want to see more of, especially when we're looking at these wonder kids, the term wonder kid that comes out. I like the idea of that. That's how we should be operating, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I as I said, when I see that news, so many people are messaging me on WhatsApp with negative connotations to it. And I'm saying to them, I don't understand what's negative about this. I think it's a good thing. If you're buying a young striker that other clubs want, that they scouted and think he's good.
I think the other key bit with that is it's limited risk, isn't it? It's 15 million quid, 12 million quid.
Yes, it is.
It's minimum risk. Same with Ashley Phillips, minimum risk. If he doesn't become a great player, fine, you offload him. You might have to let him go for free in 5 or 6 years' time. Great. It's minimal risk. Why wouldn't you take it?
No, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Listen, I'm all for it. I want to see some young, exciting players as well, by the way.
Agreed.
I really want to see some young, exciting players. I got really bored of watching Lucas Moura coming off the bench as our attacking option. I think this is good. Where are we? KJD has said we need to bring in quality youth like we did. Sarr, who looks like he's going to have a big season at Adogi, would be well up for Valise. Yeah, I think what I'd like to see is a manager that when he brings in the youth does give them an opportunity as well. Not all of them at the same time, but I think that was the disappointing thing for me is we bought Sarr 2 years ago and have seen him play in about 4 games since. Whilst watching Højbjerg week in, week out, whilst we were watching Skip week in, week out. It's like, well, let's give this guy a go. Let's see, loads of comments in the chat. No, Raf, I don't take the bait. What I love. What I love about idiots like Raf's always in the chat doing this. My show is built on people in the comments. If he doesn't understand that by now, I read out good comments, I'll read out bad comments. So when he says I'll always take the bait, just grow up. He's one of the ones going, oh, you're giving money to Enoch. You don't know what the situation is, mate.
And you can bear in mind, you can buy it not from the club. The Spurs shop is not the only place where you can buy a Spurs shirt, by the way. Just newsflash for everyone.
Yeah, people do make me laugh. People do make me laugh. Loads of comments. Ash7 has said, Felice wears his socks low. That's enough for me to buy him. Yeah. Jack Grealish vibes. Big up. There's 778 of you in here. Big up. Smash the like button, people. Let's get that to 600 likes. We've gained back a couple of subscribers. We're still now 42 away. If people do want to put in a super chat to ensure their comment gets read out, please do. And I am going to put the link into the chat for if anyone would like to be a channel member. So please do that, and please subscribe to the channel. Perchy, Tap Sober.
Yep.
It still won't go away. Like, again, there's lots of people, including myself, who have said, I can't see that we're going to buy both. I only think we're going to buy both if Kane goes. Lots of talk that he's the more difficult one to get done because he's more expensive and more experienced than Van de Ven. What's your heart or your head or both telling you in regards to Tap Sober?
Heart says I want him. I like him. Really good player. I think he'd be a really good one. Head says no, only if something materializes down the other end, in the sense that he puts in a transfer request or something like that, tells me that I think it will happen. But who knows? We might go. Like, sometimes I sit back and go, maybe, like, the optimal optimist in me goes, maybe we just go and get him. This is the one. Tap Sober is one, and I'll say this now. Tap Sober is one of those that. One of these is that it could happen on deadline day. I'll put it out there. I think that could be one of those that goes all the way to the end, and then maybe we go and push it and go, do you know what? Here's 35 or 40 million euros or 45 million euros, whatever it is, and not really worry about that. And then we convince him last minute to do it. It could be one of those, if that makes sense. But listen, why not be optimistic? Why not?
No, absolutely. I think lots of people would be over the moon if you get both. I truly believe if you get both, you've then got the nucleus of a very good team. Add Kessie to that, you've got a brilliant spine, right? If you've got Romero, Van de Ven, Tap Sober, Kessie, Basuma, Maddison in the hole, then you've got a load of options with Son, Charlison, Kulu, Felice, Solomon, Perisic. You've got a lot of options going forward, a lot of young players. Then a club that I can really go, you know what? I really want to watch this season.
Agreed.
You know, really look forward to it.
Here's one. Does getting in Tap Sober, Van de Ven, Phillips, blah blah blah, whoever we get in the defensive sort of hole, does that cut our goals conceded by a third? Do you think?
For sure.
Like, we save 20 goals easy, don't we?
Mate, absolutely. I think this is the thing. We conceded 63 league goals last year. There are clubs that are nowhere near as good as us that conceded much less.
Agreed.
Right? Because they're organised. Doesn't always have to be the best players, but you're organised. Look at Fulham. If you look at Fulham's back four, you're looking at Kenny Tete, I think good player. Robinson's a good player. Yep. Tim Ream, who's about, 36, and Tosin Adarabioyo. Right? Now, if anyone had said at the beginning of last season Spurs are signing any of them, you'd say not a chance. Spurs fans would have turned their nose up. But I bet you if I look, hang on, let me hopefully I'm not found wanting here. If I look at last season, they can that defence, even though we finished above them, conceded 10 less goals.
Yeah.
That's Fulham. They conceded 10 less. Liverpool, who apparently had this dreadful year, conceded 16 less.
Yeah.
Newcastle conceded 30 less. But last summer, when people were talking about Botman, Dan Burn didn't want Trippier back. Do you know what I mean? Fabian Shaw. It's about a manager who can mould a defence together, work on them together, make them play well together.
Yeah.
Right? It can't, I think that there's so much more to it than just signing big names. You've got to get the blend right.
It's coaching as well. And that's a key part of it. I think we go back and look at the one thing I was massively critical of Antonio Conte was I never said he was a great coach. Everyone took that completely out of context. Oh, well, he's won this. No, I think Conte's a great manager. He wasn't a great coach, though. He just needs players that go, I want you to play like this. This is how we're going to do it, and we're going to go and win the league. We needed players to be coached better, and that's what we didn't have. I think Postecoglou's a coach over a manager, which I think is better suited for what we need right now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And, if I continue to look at that Premier League table, you look at Brentford.
Yeah.
Conceded 17 less goals than us. But if I had said to you last year, Ben Mee, Ethan Pinnock, Rico Henry, how many of our fans would have gone, oh, no, right? Sometimes it's not about the best name. So when people are going, Van de Ven, it's like, well, hang on. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
Imagine
the outcry if we'd signed Ben Mee on a free. Imagine the outcry we'd have had if we'd signed Ben Mee from a relegated Burnley on a free last season. The outcry would have been Daniel Levy, this, that, and the other. And I'm not sitting there suggesting that Ben Mee would have been the be-all and end-all, but it's context, isn't it? It's that they conceded 17 less goals than us with a Ben Mee that was at the one point managing Burnley, by the way.
Right.
I mean, do you remember he was managing them?
Everton.
Yeah.
Everton stayed up on the last day and conceded less goals than us.
Yeah.
Everton, right? West Ham were in a relegation battle, conceded less goals than us. Wolves conceded less goals. Palace conceded 14 less goals than us. Villa, with Mings and Konza at the back.
Yeah.
Right? Villa with Mings and Konza conceded 46 goals, 17 goals less. Big up, Barry. How you doing, mate?
Well, my work call went on for longer than I wanted it to. And Clement Longley has hopes of returning to Spurs. So
said who?
Said who said it? The
Barry.
Said Daily Hotspur on Twitter. So
who was the person that said
I sent it to Perchy because he obviously came out with that video this morning and got absolutely funny within about 20 minutes. And
have I jinxed it? Is that the problem?
Yeah, Perchy has jinxed Longley going to Saudi.
Right, so now I love Dyer and Longley. That's how it works.
Yeah. Perchy's going to have a Dyer and Longley shirt in home and away this season.
By the way, Rabbi, I didn't watch Arsenal yesterday, I'm afraid. So I've got no. Listen, I don't watch other clubs and worry about their performances. Right, I worry about what Tottenham are doing. My worry was always the collective, that lots of these clubs seem to be playing big clubs and getting their fitness up. That was more a worry to me. I see these fans doing that. They're not like, I saw the Arsenal the Man United fans won a couple of preseason games and it was Man United, they're winning the league this year. They're brilliant. Then they lost a couple of games and it was, oh my God, everything is dreadful. We're losing the league. Then when I actually looked at all of the Man United games, the 11 through every one of these games is just completely different. Right, 11 subs everywhere. I feel like people need to not. I'm more worried about getting the minutes in the legs, Barry. I'm more worried about testing yourself. If a team wins 7 out of 7 preseason games, I don't automatically go, all right, there you go. There's the league winners this year.
Yeah, no, 100%. I where I play cricket, we've got our own fantasy league thing that we set up, and there's everyone in there. But the Man U fan said, 2 years ago that they won, they won every game in pre-season, so it didn't, and obviously they didn't do very well. So look, it is about the fitness. Yeah, the results are great, but it is about the fitness. And that I remember you were saying last night, Savva, you were talking about where do we go for Shakhtar and where do we go for Barcelona? Because if we do 45 minutes like we have done, it's not going to get us ready for, 60, 70 minutes for the Brentford game, right? So, it is about the fitness. We don't know what they're doing, obviously running around and great is it at the training ground, but yeah, they haven't had, let's just say they haven't had the 45 laps of the field that they would have had last preseason. So whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, who knows?
Absolutely. Tony, by the way, Tony, listen, hang on, mate. I know you're saying that you're a cantankerous old sod. Great word, by the way, cantankerous. But listen, deals are under wrap. to a point, right? You get to a point where they're like, this deal is under wraps until terms have been agreed and people start knowing and medicals are booked in. I don't feel like you're ever just going to get we're not going to turn on the news in a minute and just see I'll pluck a player from nowhere. Just see Conor Gallagher with a Spurs shirt. You're not going to see it, right? You're going to know that he's having a medical. So yeah, maybe being a cantankerous old sod isn't always the way to be.
Clubs want to keep him under wraps. I mean, I read somewhere about the Gift Orban one that Paul O'Keefe said the club were doing all they could to keep that under wraps, and it does get leaked. Happens all the time.
Absolutely. Guys and girls, going to go for another 14 minutes. We are still 39 subscribers away. So if people want the shirt, this is where it's got to happen. There's 778 of you in here. 778. And by my reckoning, that means that 5% of people just need to go and subscribe. That's all it is. 5% will give away a Spurs shirt. But if you don't want it, you don't have to have it. But we've got 14 minutes. Barry, let's get your thoughts on... it's been a mad 24 hours, really. Valise, Ashley Phillips, Van der Ven. There's talks that Tapsoba's still on. I mean, where are you at with all of this from the Kane money perspective, or are we seeing the club go, hang on, we need to actually act like a proper football club?
I mean, yeah, Percy, I'm kind of with you. There's still, within the terms of with Kane, has it all been done? And this is part of the money, and we're selling a player, so we're doing it a little bit earlier than we would have done. We're waiting for the money to come into the account from Bayern, and then we're going off and doing other bits. Look, I think maybe this is Tottenham Hotspur all over. I think this is wind the fans up, put some stuff out there. Then we'll have an announcement about the Supporters Trust doing a protest. Then we'll just suddenly, a couple of days later, drop in Van der Ven's going to come, then Tapsoba, then Phillips, then this Valise. Potential, there's still that 1%. I always said it was 1% that Kane may stay. And at the end of the window, they'll just be sat there like, we played with you all for the whole of the summer. There's nothing to worry about. So, look, I just think that it's never an easy ride, and it's always a roller coaster, right? So, until we know, I think we've got to enjoy where we are at the moment, but be mindful that the rug will be pulled from underneath us at any moment, where we could suddenly go Van der Ven, Tosin, maybe Phillips. Kane staying, Tapsoba's coming as well, or then all of a sudden, Kane, then that rug, Kane's gone. We're not getting Tapsoba. Phillips, it gets injured. This is what I mean. We go on these highs and lows depending on how exciting the news is, and I get it. We have to enjoy the highs because there's not many of them. Let's face it. Because we're normally dealing with the lows. We're normally dealing with the long lays, and that'll be it. The other rug being pulled out will be we're so close to Tapsoba, but don't worry, long lay signed.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. It's absolutely crazy. VK, I never said Gallagher was so. Oh my. I do despair. I absolutely despair with the human race sometimes, their inability to understand what I just said. I didn't say Conor Gallagher was signing for Tottenham. I despair.
Hashtag Savva said.
Hashtag Savva said. I mean, I'm going to bring up a few comments just because I think they're the sublime to the ridiculous. David J, he thinks we should be going for Ruben Diaz of Man City. David J, I agree with you. Let's rock up to Man City and say, hi guys, you know that world-class centre-back you've got in the best team in the world? Any chance we could have him, please? I wonder what would happen with that. Mir Shyam knows more about Van der Ven than the rest of us, other than how to say his name properly. Has said Van der Ven is a mid-table defender. Could you add some context? Why? What have you seen from him that tells you he's a mid-table defender? I would love to know why he's not better than the defenders we've already got. And Luciano, I told you we'd get one of these, Perch. Savva in the mud up to the neck. Levy did a number on you. And that porch. I think that's you. I think that's you.
I'm Porch.
The porch TV.
The Porch TV.
I love that. Levy did a number on your fill in the blank. Levy did a number on your dog. Let's say dog. Levy did a number on your dog and that porch bloke. I love that. Hold your tears.
I haven't cried.
This is a wonderful sentence, Luciano. First of all, I don't think anyone's signed. Like, I don't know what's happened. Second of all, if they do sign, isn't that what we've been asking for? Third of all, that porch bloke. Yeah, I don't like that porch bloke either. He's an absolute knobhead. Absolute knobhead, that porch bloke.
He's just windows and doors, that porch bloke.
Hey, that's why he loves the transfer window so much, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That was the best comment ever. Do you know what? Half of me thinks I'll just block it. But how can you? That's too funny to read out. Yeah, just used him as an example. Look, hang on. Yeah, another one. I can't see. Again, I feel like people got to realise what lane we're in. I don't think Aymeric Laporte would leave the Champions League winners, the league winners, to go to Tottenham. I feel like he could go to a much better club. I'll ask you, boy. I don't know why I'm going to. Would there be a need? 29 years of age. He's not like he's old. Like, it's not like he's for a centre half. It's not like he's got 1 year left. Why would he ever leave Man City and join Tottenham, guys? Right now.
It's crazy, isn't it? I always use the example of the list. Where are Tottenham on the list of potential suitors? You could have the likes of PSG, Bayern Munich. I'm just shouting them. Even Leipzig are probably above us right now. Leipzig are just losing Vardy. They're more likely to go and get. They won't, but you know what I mean. There's so many more on the list. Tottenham are probably down here on it.
Yeah, get in all your porch comments. Get in all your porch comments for the next 8 minutes. I mean, Barry, I think, like, as Spurs fans, listen, I love that people dream about these signings, right? But if I pick a selection of 4 or 5 players that I've been told Spurs should sign, and then we'll look at where they have signed or are signing for. Gonzalo Ramos was a name mentioned. He's about to sign for PSG today for 80 million euros, right? Skriniar was mentioned. He signed for PSG on a free. Vardiol, people said, just get Vardiol, is signing today or tomorrow for Man City for £77 million. Who else was it that people said we should just go and get him? There was a few, Perchy, we were discussing the other day on WhatsApp. Just get him. Just get him. Just get him. We need to know who we are, don't we, Barry? We need to be realistic about it.
Yeah, look, even if, let's just say, for argument's sake, next year, Haaland's got his release clause for Real Madrid or whatever it is. Sorry, he's got his release clause, right? Just because we go and say the release clause is 150 million, 200 million, just because we go and offer that, I mean, we wouldn't in the first place. But let's say hypothetically we go and offer that 200 million or whatever the release clause is, the player also needs to be able to or want to come. It doesn't just go, you're not walking into Tesco's and buying a steak for dinner and going, you're coming home with me, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to offer you this. This is what I'm going to offer you on a weekly wage. How does that feel? And he's going to look and go, no Champions League football, great stadium, great training ground. Look at who I'm playing around. And before he's even got to that, he's like, absolutely not. You know, he's made the decision up as, you know, if it's like sitting there and going, it's like sitting there and saying Harry Kane is, you know, with Bayern, or Wycombe Wanderers are offering Harry Kane a job. Where's he going to go? He's not going to go to Wycombe Wanderers just because they want to go and get him. You know, I want a Ferrari. Doesn't mean I'm going to go and get. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean I'm going to go and get one. And I think that's what we need to realise. We can't just go out there and get everything. It's just Just crazy.
I honestly, I absolutely love doing YouTube for this very reason. Savva is fun in the bath. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with that. I don't know where to begin with that.
Savva talks bubbles.
Do you know what? Do you know what? When myself and my wife moved into our new house, one of the first thing we did was rip out the kitchen and bathroom, put in a new one. And she's got this lovely freestanding bath in the middle of the room. You know, like it all looks very nice. I've not once been in it. I can't stand a bath. That thought of that, you know, that clammy feeling on your. Nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not sitting in my own dirt. Couple of comments. Should we go for another couple of funny comments just for the hell of it? Hey, for the last 5 minutes, let's just have some fun. Right. Let's go it is. So big up Tigaro, the single parent theory, always a big supporter of the channel. Thank you so much. Said you can teach any player on the planet to play a system. You can never teach anyone to be 6'4" and lightning quick. VDV, very promising. Yeah. Look, I think as well, the thing with VDV, if anyone watches the video that I put on my channel yesterday, he's a leader. Watch him talk. He's a leader. You can see that. And I really like that. Let's call out the first person. This guy. Just
yes,
here we go.
Alex. Savva knows Mr. Box Office is right about Tottenham. Will sack Postecoglou if he has a bad run. Alex, listen, first and foremost, for someone that doesn't actually ever go out and do their homework about a single player we're trying to sign, I find it amazing how you go through so many streams without knowing any of the footballers you're actually talking about. I watched you on a stream the other night. Very good. And I felt like you talked for an hour without actually talking about anything or a single player. So keep waffling, mate. Love you to bits.
Can I just say, he loves Pochettino so much, he stuck it in the name.
Oh, mate, he can't get over it. He can't get over Pochettino. It's embarrassing. And Jay Ashraf, another one who doesn't use his ears, said, Severin Perchi, you're praising these mediocre teams and their defenses too much. No, we were making an example of how you don't have to always have the best players with the biggest names to make a unit work. That's what we said. It's really hard, isn't it? Every day, people who don't listen. We've got 3 more minutes. Keep liking, people. Keep subscribing. Let's go through some comments for the last little bit. Yeah, he's gone already. I'm done. Yeah. People do make me laugh. They really, really do make me laugh. Martin, big up Martin, a channel member, has said, Savva, it's great you have Ange Postecoglou on your panel. I like that. I like that.
Good. I respect that one.
Anyone fancies themselves as a comedian, get your comments in for the last 2 minutes. If anyone fancies themselves a comedian. Phil Coys, big up Phil, hope you're well, mate. I said Tap Sober, Van der Ven, Kessie Phillips, Tosin Valise, Kane stays. Saying it now, we make Champions League places and a possible Carabao Cup. Clip it. I think if all of that happens, I think, yeah, why not? I don't think all of that happens. I'm just going to put it out there now. I also think when people just say, like, win a cup or possible cup, I just think there are still lots of big clubs that want to win those cups. Simon Davis has said Savva and Purdy. Okay. Please stop toking the puss out of these people.
What's going on?
Perchy, let me know when are you doing your 4-minute intro?
I'm going to do my 5-minute intro. Should I do it now?
Stick your 5-minute intro on bang on 12, and then we can go for another 3 or 4 minutes just for a laugh. It's all good fun, isn't it? It's all good fun. Listen, before we do go, we are going to 5 more minutes. Everyone, smash the like button. Please subscribe. Thanks to everyone. I've really enjoyed the show. To be fair, we've managed. I think we've only had 1 or 2 twats in the chat today, which out of 798 we peaked at. That's not bad, right? 2 twats in a chat in 798 people. Quickly, guys, thoughts on Sunday's game? Any idea what sort of team we're going to play? Are we going to go strong? Barcelona 48 hours later?
Well, I'm gonna be there, so I'll get to quote a box office phrase. I'll be able to use my eyes to see what's going on the pitch.
Apart from the rest of us who are listening to our TVs and not watching them.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. So yeah, look, I mean, I think what I want to see is as close to that, that lineup for the following week. I don't think we've seen. We need to have players that, we're getting 65, 70 minutes. They need to. I know there's a game 48 hours later. I guess you could argue that when we were playing Sunday, Tuesday, when we were in the Champions League, it's kind of you could argue it's kind of the same thing. But I want to see as close to that, that starting lineup for the Brentford game. Obviously, the big question is going to surround Harry Kane. Does he start? If he doesn't start, what does that mean? And everything else. If he's starting, does that mean he's staying? If he's not, does it mean he's going? Is he going to get on the mic afterwards and say, "Thank you, everyone. I love this club. I'm off to Bayern"? I just want to see. I just want to see just some decent attacking football. And if that's what we all want to see, right? And we know it's not going to happen, overnight. It's been encouraging, but we haven't seen enough of it for me. One, we haven't played enough game, but two, we've only seen 45 and 45. So if Solomon is starting on the left, are we starting him on the left? Not he's going to start Sunday on the left and Tuesday on the right. So it's just be interesting to see that. So.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I mean, Perchy, what do you make about it? It's interesting that we've got a game 48 hours later. Could this see a bit of a disruption as to what would normally be your last couple of games where you put out your best 11 in both or near to your best 11?
What I want to see, 2 90-minute games of like two teams in 90 minutes. So you've got, we were splitting games over 45 minutes. So you had one team playing one half, one playing the other. I want to see 2 90-minute games. One team plays against Shakhtar, one team plays against Barcelona, and that gets a full 90 minutes through everyone's legs before the start of the season. That's what I want to see. As I said, I've always said, my feelings on this. I can't care about preseason like everyone seems to. For me, it's about getting the fitness back. That's all it is for me.
By the way, VK, you're getting me mixed up with Mr. Box Office. Yeah. I've always said if Kane signs a new contract, I question his ambition. I think he's got lack of ambition. I don't think the guy's a loser. I question his ambition. So, George, again, if you're going to spread stuff, at least try and get it right. Sorry, VK, try and get it right. You know what I mean? You do realise I'm one of the YouTubers that reads the comments. So when you lie about me, I'm going to bring it up. But hey, it is what it is. We've got 2 more minutes before Perchy's going to go live. I have redirected you all there. Somebody, Savano Reeves. I'll take that. It could be worse.
Savano Reeves.
What box office called you Mark Wright from Wish, I think.
I have no idea. Yeah, well, listen, when Michelle Keegan comes around here later on, we'll
Margot Robbie, Michelle Keegan, you've got them all banging those doors down. That's why every time Slavers looks out the window, goes, "Oh, who's at the door?" Sorry, guys, stream's off. Margot's at the door.
No, VK, you didn't think it was me. I see you in here every day, mate, sitting up in here, lying about things I've said when I haven't. And do you know the worst thing about someone like you, VK? Right? It's great that you're in here every day. What you do is you wait for one person to jump on me and you attach yourself to that person and go, yeah, Savva does do that. Savva does. I see you, you muppet. I see you. Don't worry about you. Right, listen, we are going to end the show there. Barry, thank you for taking time away from your very important, high-powered job to say hello to us. Thank you. It's been great. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Perchy, as always, the Porchy TV. As he's
head over to the Porchy TV now. Come on.
Porchy. Big up to you. Big up to the chat. It's been brilliant today. I've really enjoyed a lot of people in the chat. We'll be back tomorrow. I will be doing a show at 4 p.m. today. If any news breaks, it will just be a quick hour though, because I am going out later. And I will have a video being released at about 1:30. So please watch out for that video. Much love to everyone. Thank you for everyone that subscribed. We didn't quite get to the shirt, but we'll do it again in the next couple of days. And thank you to everyone. As always, Enoch and Levy out. See you later. Much love. Anything else you want to say? Goodbye. Blah, 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 blah.